Hi there, I'm the Nature Guy, and I'm here at Camp Segola up in the western UP. And it's kind of a weird place to talk about this animal because they don't live around here, but I want to talk about walrus. So the walrus are a large mammal that lives in the ocean. There's actually a variety that lives on the Atlantic side of North America and one that lives on the Pacific side up in the cool waters further north. They like the cold waters. Now, one of the things that a walrus is famous for is its tusk, and I want to talk about that in a minute. But I want to talk about the size of these guys. I think we see pictures and don't really realize how big they are unless you've seen them in person. They can be as long as 16 feet long, and then when the male stands up on its front flippers, it can be 9 feet tall. It's 3 feet taller than I am. And these large tusks, this is just a portion of one. Sometimes the tusk can be 5 or 6 feet long for the big males. So the tusk, let's talk about that a bit. That looks kind of like an elephant's tusk. It's made of the same material, sometimes commonly called ivory. But the tusks are used for a couple of things. First of all, the big males, they have one on each side, and they like to show off their tusks because the bigger they are, the more likely they are to lead the herd. But the main use that they use for these every day is for finding food. So they take their two tusks and they kind of dig in the bottom of the ocean floor. So they'll swim down to the bottom and they'll dig up. Their favorite food is clams. Now, clams don't just live by themselves. There's all sorts of other things growing in the muck on the bottom. And so the walrus will eat other things besides just clams. But clams are what they're really going after. Now, what's interesting is as they dig up the ocean floor, that does all sorts of other things for lots of other animals and not just benefiting the walrus for finding food. So when they dig that up, it sends nutrients up into the water that allows other things to grow better, and it digs up other things that are hiding in the mud. And so other animals that will be around where the walrus is digging up, they'll benefit by getting food. There'll be fish and other things darting in to gather up the things that the walrus doesn't want, but the walrus has sort of disrupted on its way. So I think that's kind of an interesting lesson for us. This walrus that's 5,000 pounds, some of the biggest ones, that's as big as a truck or an SUV. They don't just take care of themselves. They actually take care of others. By digging up through the ocean floor, they're feeding lots of other things and helping the ocean floor develop. I think that's a good lesson for us, because when we go about doing our things in our lives, in our Christian lives, we benefit others just automatically. The guidelines that God has set out in the Bible don't just help us, but help everyone else around us, and they want to know about our God too. So let's remember, when we're doing our thing, let's help others. That's it for today. See you next time. Bye now.